Hello, everyone. Welcome back to another episode of BeTheChange. I'm Keanu Rattray. Today with us, we have got another great name. I mean, the accolades that this woman has got are almost off the page. You know, she's a BCOMS alumni first and foremost. You know, sports activist, the grassroots coach. You know, she does work with Youth Sports Trust. She's co-founder of that. I think she's Offside podcast. We have Lipa Nessa. Lipa, how are you doing today?
I'm good. How are you? How's lockdown?
Lockdown is going well, you know, just keeping busy, trying to stay occupied and not, you know, just sit and lounge around and not do anything and, you know, just eat food and sleep. How's things been with you? How things been with you in this lockdown?
It's been good. Like I've been more busy during lockdown, and I think people have seen this background too many times now. Like the amount of video calls I've been on is crazy. I've never used Zoom so much in my life.
Let's get started. You know, I went over the list of the things that you've been doing, but what was your into the industry and why sports specifically?
My into the industry was BCOMS, honestly. I used to do media classes and drama classes in school. It's always been a constant in my life with sports. So I decided one day I'll put them both together and do something with that, especially sports, because I hold a strong relationship with that. It's good for you. It's good for everyone that does it, you know. And there's not a lot of people that look like you and I in those industries. So I thought, you know what? Let's just put them together and let's give it a go. And then I met this really randomly crazy person. Her name's Forde. You may or may not know her. And then we had a similar look on the pathway we wanted to go on. So we made a podcast and we're like, do you know what? Let's just go for it. And then we found BCOMS and we decided we'll join that together as well. So it's just taking small steps with like-minded people. Even if you're doing it by yourself, podcast by yourself, or you're trying to build your own brand, just make sure you're surrounded by people that have the same outlook on life.
Yeah. Now you mentioned BCOMS. How did you manage to find BCOMS, and what, like yourself, you know, you was on the course last year, I was on the course this year. What was it like for you finding BCOMS, and what kind of made you want to join them?
So I went to a BT Sport event, and they were saying that, oh, there's this BCOMS, you know, masterclass going on. Honestly, I had no idea what it was. I was like, oh, what is this? So I got a little bit more information from the people that were there. And then I looked at Forde looked at me and we're like, do you know what? Let's go. We found Leon and we're like, Leon, we want to be on this. You don't know us yet, but you will. So that's what happened. And yeah, it just spiraled from there. And when I say surround yourself with like-minded people around you, if they're genuine, they will try and help you grow, and that will also help them grow as well in the process.
Do you think BCOMS was like a big help in terms of your progression into becoming what you wanted to become?
Oh, definitely. Like the skills, like we used to have guest speakers come in and they used to say what pathway they took, how long it took them to be where they are today, and the barriers they faced and the skills that they have. Especially with speaking and having interviews, I go off on a trail and I completely forget that I'm in an interview. But now I've gained the skill enough to stay on track and stay focused.
Definitely. So on your journey so far, what piece of work would you say you're most proud of?
Piece of work. I'm more about personal growth, and I've seen a personal growth in me and it's been huge. Before, you would never see me speaking in front of a group of 20 people, and now if you give me 700 people in a corporate world, I'll be like, come on, bring it at me, you know, I've got this in the bag. But before, I was so scared I would not even do public speaking at all. And journalism is not only about being able to be good on camera, but off camera as well, and the skills are very transferable. And I'm a coach, so it's transferable for me to apply it to my coaching roles as well. So it's not only helped me just to be a journalist or just to better my podcasting world, shall I say, but it's good for personal growth as well. So if there's someone out there thinking of joining BCOMS for next time, it's definitely good to go there if you want to build on your skill sets as well.
I want to just quickly go back to you mentioning about being a grassroots coach again. What made you want to like take on that path of being a grassroots coach?
There weren't a lot of people that looked like me that I could aspire to, especially BAME individuals. And I'm South Asian, so there were literally no South Asian coaches in my area that played football, and let alone a lady that could play football that looked like me and dressed like my mum. So I was like, okay, representation does matter. So what I done was I gained some coaching badges and was like, do you know what? I'm going to go out there and see what I can do. And it's working. There's more girls that look like me that are joining football clubs because, you know, they have someone that they can aspire to, which is very new to me. Like, I don't ever think I could have that effect on someone, but your movements might be quiet, but you may be making such a big difference that you don't even know. And yeah, it's quite visible right now when a few months ago I had 0 girls at this new football club that I'm training at, training with me, and now I have enough for 1 full girls team. So representation does matter, and I need to echo this out even to those people right at the back. Representation does matter. Yeah.
Do you feel like being a grassroots coach and having all of these girls in your camp, like, do you feel like that's a lot of pressure and responsibility on you?
Sometimes, but I have the support of my male counterparts, which also help me and also understand the barriers ladies like myself may face, especially being not only South Asian, a woman of color, but being a Muslim woman. And in sports, that's like seen as so abnormal, and I don't even know why. So breaking that barrier, you can't do it by yourself. Sometimes you do need help.
Well, it's clearly evident. Like, I don't need to ask you what is missing from the industry, because we all know, like, even I guess specifically for you in terms of people that look like you, and I guess for me, the people that look like me, and so for that we know that's what is missing in the industry. And it's very clear that the work that the personal growth that you have made is more the things that is important to you, in the sense of like having that even embracing that responsibility of coming into the industry and being the change that you wanted to see. But I think the last thing I would ask you is I wanted you to give 3 keys. So I want you to give 3 pieces of advice that you've learned on your journey, or some piece of advice that has been given to you on your path.
So one would be, you get weeks where you're doing so much work and other weeks where you have nothing. And don't think that you're lacking behind, but it's just growth and progress. Second would be to not be selfish and help those around you, because once upon a time you were in their position. So it may be you trying to help someone to get onto the BCOMS course next year, or me helping you to make your next step into whatever industry you desire. And the third will be just be a nice, genuine person. That's it. Pretty simple.
Definitely pretty simple. And I think that's a perfect way to end. Thank you, Lipa, for taking the time out. Where can everybody find you?
On Twitter and Instagram, my @ is Lipa_Nessa, spelled LIPA_NESSA.
Thank you very much, Lipa. Once again, thank you for taking the time, and we appreciate you for being on.